Moines, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back. I am your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the WOCA studios just off the runway here at the Ocala International Airport in the Brick City, beautiful Ocala, Florida. Galen, you know, I was up in Atlanta at Dragon Con on a major blood drive for Life South. But he's brought to you here by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. They're located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how they're handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call at 352-854-6262. Of course, we'd like to thank Just Shipped. They flipped the script on shipping. They don't you don't have to package anything up. You don't have to go stand in line wasting your valuable time and money. You just make an appointment with Just Shipped for a small pickup fee, sometimes even a flat rate fee, depending on the size of the object you need to ship. They pick it up, they package it, they take care of all the legwork. They save you not only money, but time, and time is money. JustShip.net for more information. And Penn Flooring, they're a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solution for your flooring needs. They have experience in both commercial and residential fields. Go see their showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street in Ocala, or give them a call at 352-351-3420. Galen, you know, en route to actually go work today, folks. He usually just drives back and forth between Gainesville and Ocala and has phone meetings, and he doesn't do a whole lot. But now this weekend, he's actually going to be working. Galen, where you're at, the Miami-Alabama game may be taking place in the Georgia Dome, but the game that everybody in that area is looking forward to, I promise you, because I've lived there for a very long time, Saturday night, September 4th, 7:30 p.m., Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina, the Georgia Bulldogs open with the Clemson Tigers.
It's going to be an interesting game, isn't it?
It really is, because both teams have grand thoughts of playing for a national championship.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I'm curious to see what it's Clemson without sunshine, right? I mean,
sunshine with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They were great with him. They were great before he got there. Let's see what they end up being. And I think Dabo can be at Clemson for the rest of his life, right? As long as he's walking the earth, he can coach the Clemson Tigers.
Yes, but he's not going to be there for the rest of his life.
He did something nobody else did.
But he's not going to be there.
Where do you think he's going to go? He's not leaving Clemson.
Let me explain something to you.
He's a Bobby Bowden, Joe Pa guy. He didn't leave him.
I don't know. I think there's one job he leaves for.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I think if Saban decides to leave, he's going to Alabama.
Of course, but I don't know what Saban leave.
Well, Saban's almost 70.
Yeah, but he's like Belichick. He'll die like a year after
he's got to leave. He's got to leave eventually. And Dabo has made no bones about it. The only job that he would consider, the only job he would even listen to somebody talk about besides Clemson is Alabama.
Yeah, well, I mean, Alabama's Alabama. Alabama's the number one coaching job, and you could argue.
In all of sports. you can make that argument.
Well, first of all, they're in the SEC, so they can cheat. The NCAA doesn't invest in. We talked about this yesterday. They don't invest in schools from the SEC.
No, because we don't have Uncle Luke. We don't have to worry about being investigated.
No.
We don't have Uncle Luke in our conference.
Right. Now, what's going to be interesting is if that power, if the SEC becomes that 24 team, then the SEC becomes instantly more interesting. Every school in the SEC, because it's no longer a Power 5. It's basically
the NCAA. Exactly. Right.
So, if I'm Dabo, I stay there forever. I look and see how Bobby Bowden's revered. you look around and even Joe Pa, he had a pedophile on his coaching staff, and he's still loved. Right?
You're right. You're entirely correct about that. I don't think Dabo goes anywhere unless the Alabama job comes open in his coaching time. Here's the thing.
It also depends on where he's at, like where his children are at. Because all of a sudden, if his kids are in high school, he isn't leaving.
Right, but if he's an empty nester, he's gone.
Maybe, but at that point, he's like, I've really established myself. I don't feel like grinding and starting over.
Would you really start over at Alabama, though?
Yes, because you still have to build your program. His program is not the same as Alabama.
Okay.
He grew up there.
And by you saying that leads in. You see, you're good at these segues. It's almost like you've done professional radio for a while. You're pretty good at these segues because that leads into exactly what I want to ask you: is this game here against Georgia? Is this season for Clemson? Because yes, they had Deshaun Watson and they were good. Yes, they had Sunshine and they were good. But Nick Saban rolls out a different quarterback. You never think of Alabama as rebuilding. They just reload. And Clemson, is this the year Clemson can say, we're just like Alabama, we don't rebuild, we reload? And is this one of those pivotal moments where they separate themselves from everybody else in college football except Alabama? Because if they can come in and bring in a new quarterback, run the gamut and still be in the national championship conversation again, then they reload, they don't rebuild. And I think Dabo then, you're right. He doesn't have to go to Alabama because he's almost on equal footing with Nick Saban.
Well, there's two different style of coaches, though, right? Nick Saban's a defensive coach. Alabama's always been built on their defense.
100%.
Offense, whereas Clemson, Dabo was an offensive guy, right? It's not. Look what Clemson lost last year. Their best wide receiver gone. The best running back
gone.
The number one quarterback of the last. Could we honestly say that Sunshine's the best quarterback in the last 20 years in college football?
Last 20 years. Let me think. Last 20 years.
You could make that argument. I think you could make that. So you got Tebow, right?
Yes. You because of the program he was at and everything. Yes, he would be the best college quarterback of the last 20 years. Yeah.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes was a great college quarterback. He just was at Texas Tech, so he doesn't get the credit that somebody at Clemson would get.
They threw the ball 65 times.
I know they did, and he was very good at it.
And they didn't play anybody.
Nobody. You're right. You're right.
So let's see what Dabo can do with an offense. I think he's going to be starting the sophomore quarterback. And that gives him an excuse, right? So this season is all about how they finish. This opening game is brutal for them. I think it's much more of an important game for Georgia than it is for Clemson.
Yeah, because if Georgia loses it, people will go, well, there's Georgia again.
They're done.
Exactly.
Georgia being Georgia.
Yeah, and I know for a fact.
If you're Florida, then you're like, okay, we really have a chance of winning the SEC. And more importantly, if you're Tennessee, you're like, okay, we can be in that top tier now because we can maybe beat up on Georgia, which again isn't going to happen either.
I know for a fact. I've talked to a bunch of my buddies over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they're all. I'll tell you a funny story. I talked to my former college roommate Todd. After I got done playing football and all, he's a battalion chief now with the Moultrie Fire Department up in Georgia. And him and I lived the last 2 years. I was in Statesboro before I got married. We lived together as roommates there. And he's a devout Georgia fan. And he called me 4 days ago. I hadn't heard from him in probably 3-4 months. He calls me and he goes, hey, Bo, Georgia looks like they make a run this year. I think they finally got Alabama's number. I go, Todd, for the last 8 years you called me and said, hey, Bo, I think Georgia can make a run this year. I think they finally got Alabama's number. There's not a more delusional fan base to think they're ready to win a national championship than Georgia Bulldog fans.
Should they have won a national championship?
Yes, but they blew a lead, a 25-point lead against Alabama, just as the Falcons did against the Patriots in the exact same year.
Well, they are from Georgia.
Exactly.
That's what people from Georgia do. Georgia Southern's not very good. They're going to get whacked by FAU in 2 weeks.
They're not good. They're not good.
They're going to. I think they play. They have another. They play an SEC team, I think, in 2 weeks.
Arkansas.
Is it Arkansas?
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna get whacked there.
Oh, yeah.
They could open the season 0-3.
And if you open the season Georgia Southern 0-3, you're out of a job. I'm just telling you.
That's true.
Oh, no.
Those days are over.
No, it's not. No, it's not. There's still a big enough booster base there. You open 0-3. There are still people that are aggravated. And I know this for a fact because I know something about this program. There's still very big booster money guys in Georgia Southern. And when I say you think, well, how much money can there be there? There's some very wealthy farmers that live around that area because that's what's there.
Sure, absolutely.
That are huge boosters. And by the way, Allen E. Paulson Stadium is our benefactor. He's who's the stadium's named after. He gave the $25 million to build the stadium and everything. And all he does is own Gulfstream Air. You know what I mean? So Georgia Southern's got some money people. There's still people aggravated that Georgia Southern moved to big boy football and it's still playing 1AA football. There are people that are aggravated. Well, we should still be playing 1AA so we can be in the national championship hunt every year. Because they didn't want to grow, they just wanted to win trophies. So believe me, there's still a contingent in Statesboro that if you don't win a football game, they'll fire your rear end quick or want to. And that could happen this year because they could open 0-3. They could open. It's very viable that they could open 0-3.
Right. They're not firing their coach after week 3.
And that ends the entire year's discussion of Georgia Southern football. Now, moving on.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Only one person in the entire city of Ocala. 2 people. I'm sorry. Me and Johnny Heath, the guy that owns Geotech. He cares because he went to Georgia Southern too. But other than that,
by the way, that was the absolute limit of what I did with Georgia Southern research. I looked at their first 3 games. I'm like, LLL.
They play BYU this year. BYU comes to Georgia Southern, by the way.
Oh, wow.
How about that? BYU will be at Georgia Southern. And by the way, Georgia Southern will get waxed that game.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I'm telling
Remember
you.
the last time they didn't win 3 games?
No, there was a time about 11 years ago where they went 4-7. And the coach had been there. It was his first year, and it was his last year.
Yeah, you're just not getting here, too.
No. So, but good weekend this weekend for football. But that game, the 2 games I'm really going to watch, in Alabama and Miami, I know it's a game that people in Florida want to watch. But if you're a diehard football fan and you want to know where people are, see how good Minnesota is against Ohio State. Because Ohio State's the class of the Big Ten. Matter of fact, they're the only school in the Big Ten that has class, I would think, in the football realm. And then Clemson, Georgia is going to be it's a very good measuring stick on not only where Dabo Swinney can he reload and win, but it also will tell you if Georgia loses that football game, the Bulldog season is over. Game 1 over. Clemson can rebound because they're in the ACC. Georgia. Too many, like you said, too many people will stick their head up out of the sand and go, what, Georgia lost? Well, maybe we can beat Georgia now. And it'll give confidence to teams that should have confidence when they play the University of Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
It just is. This is a big game. This is, like you said, this is a much bigger game for the folks in Athens than it is for the folks in Clemson, South Carolina.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Much bigger football game.
This is, oh, man. This is going to be fun. First 3 weeks are going to be fun. And then we get into a lot of, like, the southeastern directional schools. The first 2 weeks are pretty good.
I love the third week. I love the third week of the season. The
ACC schedule is really good this year. I'm sorry. You can hate it if you want.
I like my favorite time of the football season is week 2 and week 3 of the football year. Because that's when you can make a lot of money if you're a gambler. Because the directional schools very seldom cover anything. You just bet against the directional schools and you win a lot of money. You gotta gamble a lot of money to get to win. you're always at a deficit. You're always putting out more money than you're going to win. But it's almost there's no such thing as a guarantee in a gamble. But it's almost a guarantee when the directional schools are playing big boy football and have no business playing big boy football. They're doing it just to collect a check. By the way, Georgia Southern was king of. We went to Auburn Jordan-Hare Stadium in 1990, got our hats handed to us, and got a $1.1 million check that helped build a new softball complex for the girls, helped renovate the baseball field. It's all about that check with these directional schools.
All it is. Correct.
So
That's correct.
back home,
Make a paycheck.
I don't know if you saw this or not, we have a full school board again. The governor appointed a man who's a perennial candidate for office of, he's run for county commissioner. I think he's run for dog catcher. I don't know. He's run for a lot of offices. Don Browning, who was appointed by Governor DeSantis to take the spot of Beth McCall. And, people sometimes, I think the school board is one of the most important elected groups there is. And people go, well, city council, county commission. The largest budget in Marion County belongs to the Marion County School Board. And they, by the way, can tax you separate of the county commission. That school tax is separate of the county commission tax and everything. I think the school board, the 5 members of that school board, are some of the most important elected officials. And by the way, it ain't got the best track record in the last 4 or 5 years.
I need to go a little further back than that. When's the last good superintendent we had? Nancy?
The last what now?
I like the current one. The last superintendent.
The last good one? Probably.
Yeah, I like the current one.
Yeah, the appointed one. I like the lady they've appointed. She's
like
very
her a
good.
lot.
Yes.
I like her a lot. She's very level-headed. And you can tell she doesn't make political decisions. She makes decisions based on...
Because she's not a politician.
Correct.
I was a big proponent.
When we did that.
Right. I was a big proponent of the appointed superintendent. I know a lot of my friends were like, no, that's taking that out of the hands of the voter, as it should be.
Yeah, I think George Tomlin is just...
Don't even get me started on that guy. Don't even get me started on that guy.
The last one, I know she was a huge friend of this show.
Heidi Mayer.
But
she was
that homework was not needed at the elementary school level. I just said, what? Okay.
She had a different approach. She had a different approach to education. I'll give you that. It was a different approach to education. But she was a very good friend of this show, so Dr. Mayer and I are good friends. I didn't always agree with her some of the decisions she made as superintendent, but she is a very good friend of mine and a very good friend of the show. I will admit that.
What I did appreciate, and I said this, is she was willing to defend her decision. She never made them from an ivory tower. She thought she was doing what she did best, what she thought was best. I just didn't agree with them. And that's okay. Right? Adults can disagree.
Yes, but it got the last year and a half of her time as superintendent. There wasn't a whole lot of adulting. There wasn't a whole lot of adulting going on there.
No, it got so petty.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
So petty. Well, and I guess really the line of the Senate is when the voters decided, we're apparently too dumb to make a good choice. So we're going to turn this over to the board.
A board, by the way, who I go, I want the appointment to be superintendent, but I don't trust the board at the time to appoint a good superintendent. But they did. I was amazed, but they did. I know.
I guess. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the board as much as some. But you're right. It is again, we're in an interesting time. I mean, the city council and this mayor's race is fascinating to me.
Oh, you get you a movie popcorn, and I'm almost tempted to do this, to take my phone and take a USB-C cable to a HDMI cable and hook it into my smart TV at home and just throw Facebook up on my smart TV and just read for hours all the visceral comments that are being made about this mayoral race.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to do a live remote at the supervisor of elections office.
The day of elections, yeah.
Yeah, no, the night.
The night, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, that's on a Tuesday night. And Tuesday night's trivia night at Crazy Pal.
Always something more important in your life than a good radio show.
Can't turn down the money, pal. You know, I took a $600 a week loss in COVID for trivia. That hurts. $600 a week. $600 a week. That translates to $30,000 COVID has cost me in trivia. So, you know, a little difficult, pal. A little difficult.
Yeah.
But Don Browning has been appointed now as school board. I'll talk more about this later in the show. But at least now there's a full school board. You know, we've been, Beth McCall resigned, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
I wonder what political wrangling went on and what handshaking and glad handing and $100 handshakes or whatever it took for this to take this long and then this to happen. A guy who I did not even think was on the radar for this. I mean, by the way, he was one of the only people that supported Governor DeSantis in the election. Most of Marion County supported Adam Putnam, but Don Browning publicly supported Ron DeSantis during the election.
Putnam was our guy.
Putnam.
I mean, he was our guy, right? I mean, he was from our neck of the woods.
He's from Bartow. Yeah, he's a good old boy. Yeah.
I mean, DeSantis is a Bay guy. And I'm not arguing. I think DeSantis done a good job. But you know what we'll know when the contributions come out for when DeSantis runs for president and just how much Browning gave.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You'll find
they
out.
have to disclose we'll find out.
You
We'll find
will.
out if he paid for that seat.
You will find out. So,
It's only got, 2 years left on it?
right, and then there's a special election. Yeah, then there's going to be a special election. And the reason they didn't do a special election this time was because it was too far out. There was too much time left in the, or there wasn't enough time left. It was one or the other, something like that. But there's a special election that will take place.
He's not going to be there long.
But he said, when he accepted the job, he goes, look, this is not something that I'm doing and then just passing away. If it's something that's a good fit for me, I will run for the position when it's up for election.
Correct. Sure.
So, you know.
Absolutely right.
So, Galen, where are you headed as part of the blood drive today? Where are they going to park you today?
Well, I'm always at the same place. I'll be at the Hyatt. We're just now getting off of the bus at the Hyatt, and we're ready to get after it. So it's good time because I got to go out the phone. Bloodmobile today. We're at the Walmart on Bahia right there. So come by and see.
Right under the
shore. Blood, and I'll be able to give you a better idea of what the crowd is like and how everybody's doing up here. And maybe I'll get some predictions for the Alabama-Miami game.
When are they? Well, hold on. When are they playing? When are they playing that game again?
Saturday.
Wait, that's this Saturday?
But yeah,
how did I know that?
Third.
How did I know that? No, it's the
You're
fourth.
making me question.
It's the fourth.
You're making me question all of my knowledge here. You're the college football guy.
I just didn't. I've been dealing with this election. I didn't have time for college football.
Tighten it up.
Galen Unoff from Live South joins us every day. Thanks, Galen. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye, y'all.
Galen up there in Atlanta. Big blood drive. But hey, go out to the Walmart in the Shores today. Give to life, give blood, because they are in a very, very short supply. We talk about it every day, and they need our help as donators. And remember, the life you save may be somebody you know or it may be yours. You never know. So go give the life, give the gift of life, give blood. Out at Bahia today, at the Walmart on Bahia, out in the Shores. And as always, you can go right there on the boulevard, right next to the Cascades, and give blood there as well. We'll be right back after this timeout on WOCA, The Source.